Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. Got the super team of Sports Talk checking in with y'all on one half of it. Your boy Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian, checking in with my main man, the partner in crime, the 6 foot under post up champ. Tell him who you are.
What's good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, and we're back this week live broadcasting on a Wednesday. And this week, unlike many weeks in the past, we not pump faking. When we talk football this week, it's real because the season starts tomorrow.
Yes. Finally. I'm excited, even though my team not playing tomorrow. I'm just excited to get this show on the road. On the road.
Absolutely. Seemed like it went by fast this year. It wasn't as bad. I mean, I know February was a long time ago, but I guess the NFL is always in the news now. It don't seem like you're really away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because was it maybe a couple years ago they moved the draft from May to April.
Right.
So they already had Super Bowl on lock for pretty much Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, February, Combine.
Right.
Free agency in March.
Right.
Now the draft's in April. What else? What did they move to May? Just like mini camp and shit, I believe. But, they pretty much got something going on every month. And then this year we had no shortage of off-season stories between all the contract holdouts and anthem talk and just a whole, lot of miscellaneous stuff. So you're right. It definitely snuck up on us. So we're going to get into a few things, news and notes wise, people. We'll be putting out a show giving you our picks for the upcoming games. That'll be out later on in the week. Probably Friday. We're going to give you our Falcons-Eagles pick on this show tonight since that game is tomorrow.
Right.
Now, again, as always, we don't get this party started without thanking all of our viewers, subscribers, listeners, supporters. We appreciate you guys as well. Don't forget, keep watching us on the YouTube channel. Watch, like, hit that subscribe button. Give us some thumbs up. Leave some comments. Same thing when you're on the go or if you're listening on any of the app platforms. We're on iTunes, of course, and on Spreaker. And again, on all those platforms, you can find us easily by searching AA Sportscast, straight sports, no chaser. Download all that content and share it with your peoples.
Indeed.
As always, y'all know how we get started. It is open bar, but it's something like the news first.
Absolutely. Something like the news. Things that we find interesting that we feel that we should share with you people. All right, my first one goes out as a shout out to a young man named Oscar Castillo. He is a high school football coach in Dallas. They won a game 40-12 over Dallas Conrad. The big thing about that win, dog, they snapped a 77-game losing streak.
God damn.
77 games. They had, now that's not the longest streak in history. Glasscock County in Georgia in 1990 snapped their losing streak of 82 straight games. Because they said it was all kind of alumni showing up. They were so happy. Dudes was like, man, I ain't win not one game when I was in high school. Not one game.
That's bad. 77 straight wins. That's like at least 7-8 seasons worth of losing.
Because it was so big, the principal allowed them to play Eye of the Tiger and the players to walk down the hall just getting high fives and everything. Now, they're probably going to get their ass whooped next game, but, hey.
Start the streak right back over, right? Started right back over.
Shout out to them for getting that W.
Yes, sir.
Some gentleman made a bet on Roger Federer. He bet $25,000. And he only had the probability of winning $500. Well, Roger Federer lost. And he lost to an Australian gentleman named John Millman, who was ranked number 55. I'm gonna put 25 racks up to win 500.
That is the worst odds like ever, man. Dude, there's a lot better ways or easier ways you could have made $500.
When you got money to blow like that, clearly he had that bread to blow. Why don't you just ride down the street, go find some homeless folks, just give it to them, you know?
Or, if you got the gambling bug like that, if you just going to put 25, if you can put 25 out there like that, go for the gusto. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe that was what he thought. Maybe that was a hedge bet. Maybe he had some money on something else, and he figured, I know I got this on lock, so maybe that'll balance it out. I don't know, but either way, that was not a good bet.
Nah, not at all. All right, shout out to 11-year-old Zoe Terry. This young lady is a aspiring entrepreneur. She started a doll company to make dolls and send them around the world. She's getting help with this to let black dolls see stuff that looks like her to try to inspire kids and whatnot. That's pretty dope. She won an award at the Nickelodeon Awards. They fronted her $30,000 to help her get a trademark and also make more dolls. Shout out to her, man. Young lady's doing something well in her world. And my final one, this is just a dumbass award. Oscar Williams, another Oscar. How about that? This dude was working at a Cobb County law firm. He tried to steal $25,000 from this law firm to pay off his Benz. 25 racks. The first he was just writing checks because 2013 E350. The first check for 12 racks cleared. Then the company caught on to it. Oscar's about to go to jail. He's also catching similar charges in Fulton County and also up in Maryland.
Over a 2013 Benz?
A 2013 Benz. If you're stealing like that to pay for the car, people, this is a little quick wisdom from Uncle Hate for you people. Before y'all go out and buy these foreign cars, please understand how much the maintenance is on them. You can't just take no Benz for no regular oil change. The 1999 oil change.
Nah.
It doesn't work that way. You're looking at almost any type of real work, $500 just to get on the lot. So,
right. And I want to say those oil changes like $100 plus. The oil changes are so much. I think now when you purchase the cars, if you purchase one brand new at least, or if you purchase a certified used one from Mercedes directly, they give you I think 2 years worth of oil changes.
And that's a win.
So if they got to package that in with the car, that let you know how much just a simple oil change or just regular maintenance, balancing tires and shit like that costs.
I mean, damn, do better, Oscar. That's all I got. What you got, homie?
All right, I got a couple. I'm surprised I didn't have more especially since it was a holiday weekend. You got a lot of people doing crazy shit over the holiday weekend. But you know what? I wasn't really looking for as much stuff because there was a lot going on over the holiday weekend. Mostly I was watching a lot of college football.
Yes, it was.
So, maybe that played into it. But I did find two very interesting stories. The first one comes out of Charleston, South Carolina. Now, you had two young ladies that work for the same newscast. One is the anchor woman, Erica Bivens, and then you have the weather girl, Miss Chelsea Ambrose. Now, these two young ladies were at an event called Girls Night Out, which is to promote and help with domestic violence against women, and outreach for that. These two young ladies, let's see, let me go back to it. Let's see. Oh, where did it go? I'm tripping. Okay, so Chelsea was allegedly flirting with Erica's husband, right?
Uh-oh.
Okay, at this bar that they were at having this event. Chelsea wouldn't try to hear that shit, so she jumped on Erica.
Uh-oh.
And they started fighting. Now, these two women, they work on the same broadcast. So imagine the anchor woman who cuts to the woman that does the weather, and you see them out in a bar fighting at a event that's supposed to be promoting domestic violence against women. The worst place to kind of have this kind of incident happen. So,
over a dude.
Well, not just any dude. This is one of them's husband.
Right.
Yeah. So you would think that the one that was accusing the other one of of messing with her husband would have been the one that threw the first blow, but nah, it was the accused that decided to jump on the wife. So very interesting. You got to do better. No word yet as if to either one or both of those ladies are now looking for employment.
Damn. And somebody had to film it.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. You know how that. Get your ass whooped in public no more. Somebody's gonna film it, and it's gonna live forever.
Yep. Next up, and this story actually comes from the same source. I get a good deal of my stories. The ones that at least that are outside of Atlanta from BSO Sports. Shout out to Black Online Sports. He keep a lot of stuff posted, but this particular one here, this one comes out of Miami. Now this one, I don't even want to say this dude's name because he making all Diegos look bad. But you have Diego Barrero, not Diego Barishnikov, Diego Barrero. I want to make sure that we are very, very clear on that before I go any further with this story.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right? Diego Barrero and Mr. Edwin Geraldo Cortez were arrested on South Beach on Ocean Drive, a.k.a. the Strip.
Yes.
3:20 in the afternoon in a car, non-tinted windows, performing oral sex on each other.
Shut up.
Okay. You say, okay, yeah, it's a lewd act, blah, blah, blah. It's two guys. Okay, we know how people live their lifestyles these days. That ain't the kicker of the story. The kicker of the story is that both of these dudes are priests in Chicago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. So they just say, you know what? We're going to stop touching the little boys. We're going to start fucking with each other. And we're going to go to South Beach to do it. Broad daylight.
Hey, at least they ain't touching the kids. I'm good with that.
Hey, that is very true. That is very, very, very true. You rather them touch each other than the kid. But damn, middle of the day, broad daylight.
Yeah, that sounds like drugs involved too.
Yeah, they say when the police came that they had to tap on the window just to get their attention to stop.
Hey, do you think they was on that what Michael Jackson called it, Jesus juice?
No comment. So that's crazy. So that's all I got in regards to our crazy ass something like the news stories. So we can go ahead and jump on into our main event, what we really here for, and that's to talk about these sports with y'all people.
Yes, sir. All right,
so bags being given out again.
Absolutely. We was on here last Thursday, and I said something to you about Aaron Donald, and you told me I believe it when I see it. Well, Friday, they gave him the bag. They held out long as they could. Aaron Donald had a very good Labor Day weekend. When you get handed 6 years, $135 million, 86.8 guaranteed, your weekend's good. In LA, that's a win. They should have did it, man. What? Cuz since he came into the league, defensive rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, 4 Pro Bowls, 3-time first team All-Pro. Hey, man, that young man balled for them, and they had to break him off. Now, that accounting. How many more years they got till they got to pay Goff?
This is his 3rd year, so he is eligible for an extension after next season, I believe.
And how the hell are they going to pay Marcus Peters next summer? And I want to say the Joyner kid, the safety they franchised this year? Unless they're going to franchise him again, or they're going to throw it on Peters. I guess they're going to bounce it back between the two of them.
They're definitely going to have some problems when it comes time to pay Jared Goff because, Todd Gurley just got a big deal. They gave a lot of money to Brandon Cooks. I'm not too much worried about Talib because I always thought that his situation is probably be a 1 year. Next year, if he's still there, he's going to have to take probably a haircut.
So he's 1 year.
Yeah. So you can't pay that many people, that many guys top dollar. It's just not going to happen. Not because the owner's pockets ain't deep. Just because you got a hard salary cap. Again, this ain't the NBA people where you can go over and just pay the penalty. Nah, it's a hard cap. So they're gonna have issues, and a lot of teams have these issues because again you can't pay the quarterback big money and then play other guys $20+ million as well.
Let me ask you this: I'm not trying to backtrack, but who they didn't have to pay Brandon Cooks right now, did they? He was under contract.
Yeah, he was under contract at least for this year. Now, after next year, he would have became a free agent. So I guess they just wanted to go ahead and sew that up. For me, I would have at least had to have him play a snap.
Right. I would have wanted to make a decision between him and Marcus Peters like in March if it was me.
And then they could be looking at it, they did trade for him. So they gave up assets for him. So, you don't want to really lose a guy if you've given up assets for him, kind of like they did with
first, didn't you?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something within the first 3 rounds, definitely something that you just can't, that you ain't just gonna throw away.
Right.
That's kind of what they did with Sammy Watkins. Remember, they gave up some nice draft picks to get him from Buffalo, and then ended up letting them walk. So I guess they didn't want that situation again.
Right.
So they went ahead and kind of jumped in front of it.
I guess it's safe to say that their chips are all in the middle of the table this year. All in the middle.
This year, next year is probably their window before they have to start getting real creative with that cap.
Well, the reason why I say this year, though, because like you just said, Sue, Talib, them dudes probably ain't going to be there next year if they want another bag. So it got to be this year. But you're right. I mean, they're young. They're going to be there. So, well, that was Friday. So we saw that bag. We go into Saturday morning. Saturday morning, word got out. Well, I guess it was Friday. Word was starting to get around that, they just might trade Khalil Mack.
Right.
They just might do it. And I know we've been on here like, man, they can't do that. I mean, he's good. They can't do that. Well, they traded him. Khalil Mack, 3 Pro Bowls, 2016 Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time first-team All-Pro. Still playing under a rookie deal, which means they could have franchised him for at least the next 3 years. They traded him to the Chicago Bears. To the Chicago Bears for, where is that at? Oh, the Raiders will receive 2 first-round picks, a 6th-round pick in 2019, and a 3rd-round pick in 2020. I get what they've been doing as far as, John Gruden said, well, they weren't really good with them last year on defense. And maybe they had to, try to fill the coffers up. But I go back to something you've been saying the last couple of weeks. The Raiders owners cash strapped.
Right. I actually had that in my notes for the night. You had to touch back on that. Right. So you got the poorest owner in the league, Mark Davis, worth roughly $500 million. Okay. Again, I use porous very loosely because that's not chump change. But then when you look at
a team with $500 million right now,
right, and then you look at the owner of the Rams, who we were just talking about, Stan Kroenke, whatever his name is, he worth $8.5 billion. Okay?
He used to own Denver, the Nuggets too, didn't he? Or was it the Bucks? He used to own either the Bucks or Denver, one or the other.
Right, but that just shows you one can write a check at the drop of a hat if needed. The other one, not so much. And then on top of that, the Raiders have the lowest revenues in the league over the last couple of years. So you put those things into it, and then, like we just said, I don't care what team you are, you really ain't paying 2 guys $20+ million like that.
It's impossible.
It just not going to work.
Hey, bro, did Mark Davis try to write Khalil Mack a post-dated check?
Hey, it was either that or another reference that you always go to. He was out there like he went to Smokey, like he went to Big Worm like Smokey did, recounting that same $60.
I get it. They cash strapped. That's the business part of it. Now he gonna be straight in 2 years, and they go to Vegas. Bread gonna be there, but they got to survive right now. And I can't say it's a bad move for him. I mean, if the guy wasn't going to show up and you didn't have no intention of paying him that type of guaranteed money, you had to get what you can get. And to get 2 firsts, a 3rd, and a 6th over the next 2 years, I believe I said 2 years. Yeah, to get that's pretty solid. But
and to hear Reggie McKenzie talking about, hear him talk about it. They were just wanting Khalil Mack to come into the building just so they could start, trying to see if they could come to some type of compromise. But I guess Khalil figured, hey, we've been going at this for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Ain't no need for me to come into the building unless y'all got my number.
Right.
My dollar number, by that. So
and I think we talked about it back and forth also. It was a waiting game between him and Aaron Donald. Once that Aaron Donald deal came down, they knew they were done. That's the number. Nobody stays number one as far as highest paid long in the NFL. No, you might be there a couple months, in some cases a couple weeks. So they were done Friday night. When he got that bread, it was over. They knew they had to make a deal. And Chicago came in with the best deal for him. And
right.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, okay, if it were you, if you were Mark Davis, McKenzie, and Gruden, you mentioned the franchise tag. Okay. Would you have called his bluff? Because basically he was saying he wasn't going to report without a new deal at all, right? So would you have called his bluff and waited him out, and then at the end of the season, franchised him? I think I probably would have had to play hardball if I'm the owner. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Hey, I think it's shit the way they control these guys' futures, but hey, this is the deal that y'all agreed to.
Right.
Y'all businessmen, I'm a businessman. Wasn't like, he's gonna make $14 million this year. I don't have the defensive end or linebacker franchise tag numbers in front of me, but he would have been set straight next year. Hey.
It's somewhere, I think the highest paid is somewhere in between like 15 and 17, somewhere in there.
So he would have got a raise every year he was on that tag. I don't understand that.
It basically, how many? It wouldn't have been 90 million guaranteed, but it would have been like a Kirk Cousins situation.
Absolutely.
Where you getting franchised, you get not only the top, but you getting times that because you have been franchised multiple times. And then at that point, it would have been making the Raiders look stupid because you already paying me the money.
The same money.
Why not go ahead and do a long-term deal? So
that's a good point you just brought up, because you remember when that Kirk Cousins deal happened, everybody was like, "This is the new model. He bet on himself." Man, cats ain't betting on themselves. It's different when you a quarterback betting on yourself. When you got 5 dudes in front of you protecting you, if Mac's knee gets chopped, anything, the money changes. So I can't blame him. I can't blame him at all. But
that's like walking in the club 30 deep, talking shit to everybody.
Absolutely.
That's the quarterback, basically. Like you said, you got the protection.
Yeah, you can bet on yourself in that regard. Plus, that number's higher. So let's look at the Chicago end of it. Talk about pushing them chips in the middle of the table. I didn't hear Chicago when I was hearing teams mentioned in regards to this. Did you hear their name coming up?
I didn't. I heard pretty much Packers, Browns for the most part.
I heard y'all put an offer in.
Yeah, our name popped up late. I was on the fence. I was like, Khalil Mack's a great dude, but don't do it.
Yeah, for 2 months.
For not only that, because we need our draft picks right now. Because again, we got the new car smell, and some people are real hype on us, but we're still a very young team. So those draft picks are valuable. Not only that, again, tying up all that money in between 2 players. I was not trying to hear that, really.
Why can't people understand that part of it? I don't.
It's hard. It's hard as fans. It's hard as fans. Guys like us and guys that do other podcasts. Shout out to y'all. We are in the minority of fans that want to understand these other things. Most people, they just want to watch the games. Make comments, barbershop talk, bar talk. And kind of be done with it. These other small details of the business, they ain't really trying to hear that.
The money is so fascinating. That's more fascinating to me in some cases than what you get on the field, because it's almost like chess. But you've never seen a defensive player making that type of bread and a quarterback making that at the same time. It doesn't happen. So everybody's talking about Green Bay should have went all in and did that. Aaron Rodgers is making $33.5 a year, and you're gonna hand Khalil Mack, what did he get with them? $23.5 a year. That don't leave a lot for the cap, people. It doesn't. But
the same theory we used last week when we were talking about Green Bay giving Aaron Rodgers all their money, they don't spend a lot of money, big money elsewhere. As far as bringing.
What about Devontae's deal? How much? His about what? 17, 18 a year? No, it ain't 17. That's the highest. Nah. That'd be like 14.
It's about 14, 15.
Yeah. And I did say that last week in regards. They don't have a lot of younger players that are due to be paid. They got the picks. I guess the money would have been the issue. Because if it really came down to the picks, I'd have gave up them 2 first rounds next year. So what? It would have been low. But now let's look at Chicago's end of it. Okay, last year on defense. Total defense, they were 10. They were 7th in pass defense, 11th in rush, 7th in sacks. Giveaway, takeaway, they were 15. And you add a player like Khalil Mack to that defense. And like you hit me last week because it went over my head because I was forgetting about it. Roquan Smith, you're adding them two animals to that defense. Man.
Along with oh God, what's his name?
Akeem Hicks is solid on the other
end. Akeem Hicks, he had about 8.5, 9 sacks last year.
Floyd, they drafted from Georgia, another rush in.
Right. Man. Chicago's defense on the low last year, they were sneaky good. They were sneaky good. The offense just couldn't put up enough points. So this makes the defense even stronger in a way is going to put even more on Mr. Mitchell's plate. That offense has to produce this year.
You know what? When they can't put up 15 points a game this year, everybody gonna hate y'all even more in Chicago for fleecing them.
I would hope they can put up more than 15. I mean, like we said, I think whenever we did the breakdown on them,
they got weapons.
They got weapons this year. They haven't had right. And I don't know if we mentioned it on the show last week or not, or whenever we did Chicago, but and I ain't gonna maybe I shouldn't say it too loud, but Kevin White made it through a whole offseason and camp and preseason without getting hurt.
Hey, did you ever see that old movie, that Samuel Jackson, Bruce Willis movie, Unbreakable, where Samuel Jackson was that he was that supervillain person who kept every time he just broke his bones left and right. That's Kevin.
Yeah, I know the movie. I didn't really. Yeah. So, we're gonna see if he can become what people thought he was gonna be, a big physical threat. And it can be a nice little matchup with him and Allen Robinson on the other side.
Trey Burton. We're gonna see what we get out of him. I'm thinking if Nagy was calling the offense in Kansas City last year and they utilized their tight ends in Andy Reid's offense, Trey Burton should be solid for this team this year if he can catch the ball and do a little bit more. But we're gonna definitely see.
I want to see what we get out of him because again, they gave him a nice size deal for a guy who was, I think, third string tight end on Philly last year.
Third string on that team.
So we're gonna see.
Opportunity and availability worked out well for him. But we definitely going to see. They got a very good opening test on Sunday night against Green Bay. National television, we going to see. All right.
You think Khalil going to play?
Yeah, they said he playing.
Okay.
Some dude, I think it was Akeem Hicks, came out off top today and said nobody on Green Bay can block Mack. Nobody.
He did. It was him.
That's pretty real. But shout out to him. Good things in Chicago. All right. Real quick, another L for the Raiders. They traded a third-round pick for Martavis Bryant the day of the draft, and he's going to be suspended again. Now, I want to say we heard about this earlier during the summer. He didn't fail a test. He missed the test. I think that's what I heard.
Right. That's what the report came out, and then we just kind of never heard anything about it again. And apparently it wasn't just a missed test because if he's – I mean, just saying because I think whatever new information that they got that we, the public, haven't been privy to as of yet is what made them go ahead and cut him.
Gotcha.
That along with, basically this dude just needs to grow the fuck up. Yes. They were talking about him coming in the meetings late, coming to practice late. We thought Gruden was being an asshole, or whichever way you want to look at being an asshole, or try to motivate him. Earlier in camp, talking about he didn't know the plays, he wasn't doing this, he wasn't doing that. Apparently, all that shit was real, and it all came to a head. So they just decided to cut ties with him. Now, this young man has already served multiple suspensions. He's already been in the program pretty much since day one. He's already missed an entire season from his last suspension. So this one, if it goes through and he loses appeal or whatever, he's going to be sitting out all of this year. What is this young man's future going to be?
He done. The reason why I say he done is because Josh Gordon had tape, like good 1,600 yards, that type of stuff. Josh had 1,600 in one season. His career, Brian only got 1,917 yards in his career. So, I could be wrong, and I'm all about people getting second chances because after they set you down 1 year, a whole year, and you come back on that same bullshit, you do this to yourself completely.
Right. I mean, even if it comes out that, okay, yeah, they're doing it because of a missed test, again, at what point do you not miss a fucking test? Or not do everything in your power to make sure that you stay on the football field? I don't get it. You was demanding a trade last year.
Right. Wanting the ball. Demanding a trade. Get to the Raiders. You are going to be the deep threat on this team. And you're out the league, basically.
And what he would be coming up on time for money, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just not smart. Talk about hustling backwards.
All the way backwards.
This is it right here. So I don't think he's done, because I think at the end of the day he's talented enough where somebody will give him some kind of minimal incentive-laced deal where he's still on his rookie deal, so he ain't no more than probably 25, 26.
Okay. Yeah, and you can play receiver for a while, but I mean, if your only ability was go route, because I ain't never seen bubble screen and go route. That's about it. But, I mean, I hope it works out. Maybe, I mean, hell, we thought Randy Gregory was out. Randy Gregory starting Sunday for Dallas. So, I mean, I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, he's 26. Yeah, he's 26. He'll be 27 in December.
Yeah, so come back at 28. I mean, he can play another time. Just he need to get his shit together. Can't nobody do it for him. He got to do it for himself.
He'll be somewhere like Buffalo. Somewhere.
They bring him back. They all about the reclamation.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Hopefully it works out for him. All right. Le'Veon Bell. Well, word on the street, he was going to show up on, last Friday?
Yeah, somebody lied.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about it on the show last week. Somebody said he was going to show up, but he came right out and disputed that. Like, nah. No. Just like
right.
But, yeah, so Le'Veon Bell's agent spoke on it today because Marcus Pouncey said he's going to be here Wednesday. I promise you, he's coming Wednesday. Well, today's Wednesday. I want to say you hit me around 9:30, like he ain't showing up, dog.
It didn't look good. 9:30, 10 o'clock. Still no. I'm looking at reports. Nothing. He ain't coming.
They had their first little team meetings around 9 o'clock. He wasn't there. No. So I can't blame him. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, his agent did an interview. Basically saying to I forgot which radio station he called into, or they called him, whatever. But basically saying, read between the lines. If you are the Steelers and you know that you're going to run him into the ground, would you show up?
I'm gonna give you his direct quote. That's nothing. Well, this is part of it. There's nothing. That's nothing to say negative about the Steelers. They had one of the best players that they could ever have. He played the position. I said that wrong. I'm off tonight. And they relied on him heavily for his production. He can provide for them. In doing so, you take away years off his future. Basically, he ain't touching the ball 406 times this year to get ran into the ground and tear up his ACL, MCL, something. And the bag that he wants, he won't get. And they be like, damn, dog, you got hurt, but we don't got 20 for you. We got this fresh 10 guaranteed. Oh, that's that same shit they offered him in March.
Right. Right.
But I guess I was surprised about the players coming out about it.
Yeah, offensive line is out here on some in another man's pockets type shit, if you ask me.
And NFL shit, you never hear them speaking on another man's contract.
Because you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
So, especially considering the fact that they all know they're on a series of one-day contracts, basically, because past your guaranteed money, they can drop you pretty much when they want. And he plays a position where he gets a lot of contact. I'm real surprised his offensive line, 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3, spoke out against him.
Yeah, I got to
motivate me to show up.
Exactly. Marquise Pouncey said, if you don't want to be here, it is what it is. Hold out 10 weeks then. Another guy, who was the other one? They all in James Conner corner right now. Rightfully so. He the guy, so, they got to, hype him up. He's no Lev Bell.
Right.
The other one, Ramon or Raymond, I'm not sure how he pronounces his, Foster, came out and said, I know the league is all about get your money, get paid. I love it. But at least let us know you weren't going to come.
That's true. That kind of falls in line with me, similar but different. When LeBron and Dwayne Wade was on that damn plane, and Dwayne Wade said he didn't know LeBron was leaving to go back home. I guess he could tell them, dog, I'm not showing up until I get there. Don't look for me until I walk through the door.
Right, but unless I hear a guarantee, it is what it is. But yeah, in the Steelers case, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe he could have reached out to somebody, but the way Marquise Pouncey made it seem, he seemed like he had the plug, like he had the inside ear, because he was the one out here talking about when he was reporting.
Right.
And so he just may be mad because his prediction ended up being wrong. I mean, don't open your mouth if you ain't really got the truth, if you ain't really even spoke to that man.
Yeah, man. If he shows up week 10, I ain't tripping.
I totally would understand. I don't think he's gonna sit that long. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's probably like $8-9 million he ended up losing if he sat that long.
Man, he on tour with them mixtapes.
Shh. Have you heard of the Left Bell mixtape? I haven't. He might not even be better than MC Beasley Bear.
He might have them hot bars though.
Hey man, in a rap battle, who you got, Cole Beasley or Lev Bell?
I got to hear some more Lev Bell, but otherwise, Cole Beasley got an album.
Cole Beasley on iTunes. People, go check him out.
Shout out to him. But of course, Ben got his out there. This offense ain't predicated off of one player. I mean, I get that part of it. Ben's such a fucking sucker.
Oh, he gonna have something to say.
But if it was their money, I mean, I know Antonio showed up last year. He did the right thing coming in. But man, at the end of the day, you can't guarantee that shit. You tear up your ACL or whatever, they ain't about to pay you. So it is what it is. All right, Let's keep it moving. Earl Thomas ended his holdout, showed up in Seattle. We can leave that at that. You got anything with that?
Well, I do want to ask you about the draft picks. I know you said today that Dallas had offered a second, right?
Yeah.
You think Seattle should have took it?
Yep.
Okay, not adding anything else?
Nah, but you know my theory on shit. And I gotta stop. One thing I gotta stop doing is stop taking an NBA perspective with NFL stuff. I always look at it like, if he gonna leave me, I gotta get something.
Get something for him.
I ain't gonna let you walk out the door for free on me. So, if they know Earl Thomas is free now, they can franchise him. But if you're gonna go through the process of franchising him, hell, safety money ain't that. Well, I can't say that. Eric Berry got paid. So I guess they may not want to pay him what he's gonna be worth come this summer. But I would have took that second.
But the thing about that is, because so let me look up these numbers and see how far off he is from the top dog.
Yeah,
he's in a contract now that's still paying him $10 million.
And that's good money for a safety.
And I think Eric Berry's the highest at like 13.
Right.
So next deal, of course, yeah, you're gonna get a raise. Do you just have to have it?
Right.
Yeah, Earl Thomas is 29, I believe.
Yeah.
So he is a little bit older, but he's still playing at a high level.
And you remember when he got hurt? Was that about a year or two ago? Shit, he was talking about retiring then.
Right. Right. So we understand he's trying to get his last bat before it's over with. But back to the draft pick thing, I'm on the other side a little bit, because I'm thinking the reason that Seattle didn't take the second is because it's pretty much out there in this public knowledge ever since Earl Thomas followed Dallas to their locker room last year saying, "Hey, come get me, Jason Garrett, come get me." So it's obvious that he want to be there, and it's obvious that the Dallas Cowboys are looking for safety help right now. So you're going to have to up that asking price, especially when Seattle tried to get Dallas to trade with them back in April for a second, and Dallas said, "No, we're going to keep our second," and they drafted somebody.
Right.
So I think
business-wise, I'm with you, because that's supply and demand. Now, if I'm Dallas and I'm trying to get this done, a 6th or a 7th. If you're okay, you asked me if I'm Seattle what I would do. If you're Dallas, what would you up that offer to? to get him in camp or get him to your team right now?
Go in the 4th or 5th.
He's 29 though. You can probably get you a starting safety in the 4th round. Hell, they ain't paying safeties much right now.
Yeah, but you're going to get an Earl Thomas. I mean,
that 29 kind of threw it.
No, not really, because I'm not so hung up on the 30 number. So I think he can still give you 3-4 more years. You know, I mean, he's playing safety.
Yeah, he's a cover safety. It's not like he's a
he's not a right. I mean, he can hit you. Don't get me wrong, but he's a free safety.
Right.
And we know that a lot of corners, when they get old, they go play safety.
Right, and I'm with you on that. And I'm not trying to shit on the 29, but I'm looking at it from the team perspective, because the way they look at it. Once you hit 30, but that was a good point you just made though, because they shift them corners to safety. So yeah, he should be able to get 3 or 4 more good years. Here, Robert Woodson transitioned to safety from cornerback and had very productive years later on.
Right, because an NFL contract ain't but 4 or 5 years tops. Yeah. So and you figure that last year is probably going to be they're going to either have to have him take a haircut or cut him anyway.
Right.
So you really only focus on the first 3 years of it, and to keep some form of what you used to have identity-wise on that defense, I would think it would be worth paying Earl Thomas that money. And maybe they plan to do that. They just want to do it on their own terms and not be dictated.
I just thought about in regards to Dallas, they got to pay Dak next summer.
Is it next summer?
Yeah. He was a 4th round pick. So, yeah, they got to pay Dak next summer. So.
But Earl Thomas ain't gonna be getting $90 million, so I don't think his deal would be a problem.
No, it shouldn't be 13, 14. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really want him,
you could have got him.
You got to throw something else in there to sweeten that up.
I feel comfortable with a 6, and Seattle should take that. Hell, for what they do in the draft every year, or what they did do in the draft, they found a lot of gems late. So a 2nd and a 6 for a guy who's gonna walk, and you don't have to pay these guys for another 4 or 5 years, that's solid, man.
Yeah.
Page anyway. To me, I feel like they need to.
Yeah, it's just For me, once you get past the 5th round, 6th and 7th round picks or the throwaways for me.
Well, that's why I would offer that 6.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming they would hey, we need at least 2 starter type caliber players, or at least a solid starter with a 2 pick, and then somebody that's got the potential to either come in and start right away if the shit break right, or at least take over and start within the first couple of years.
Shit, if I'm Jared, I'd be an asshole. I'd offer them that 2nd round pick on Rolando McClain. As soon as he off suspension, he'll show up. That's the type of jerk I'd be. But hey, man, he's there.
But speaking of Dallas though, you got to pay Dak, and then don't they just have to tag DeMarcus Lawrence?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And that's DN money. That's going to be real money.
Yeah.
And if Randy Gregory starts to play like he should be playing, that's probably further down the road. But shit, he been in the league how many years now? 3?
But you know what? Does his shit start over because of all them suspensions? I mean, not start over, but does he stay pretty much from the last time he played a full season?
Yeah, I got to see the details because you have to play so many games in the season to get credit for that season as a veteran. So yeah, we'll find that out.
Good deal.
How to work with him.
Hey, we can leave this next part alone because I was having a hard time figuring out my predictions. I got my Super Bowl prediction, but the player predictions for the awards, I was having a hard time. Unless you want.
Yeah, I didn't fill that part out either. I was just going to throw some shit out there, so we ain't got to do it.
Yeah, but I couldn't come up with anything outside of my Super Bowl prediction. So, Super Bowl, I'm gonna go with the Patriots and the Vikings, and the Vikings get it done.
The Vikings.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the defense, and Kirk Cousins got to do something. I mean, they were close last year. Well, no, they weren't. If that game's at home, they would have won. They would have went to the Super Bowl this year.
Last year?
Yeah. If it would have been at home, if they wouldn't have had to go in that damn cold, I think they might have had a chance to win that game.
Yeah, possibly. Or if Aaron Williams from the Saints makes that tackle, then they one and done and
Yeah,
sitting at the house.
that's true.
Um, and actually that'll lead into my Super Bowl pick. I got Pats and the Saints. I think the NFC is loaded. It can be any number of teams.
Yes.
But I think the Saints, with the way that they lost last year and that heartbreak, I think they're gonna come back stronger this year, and possibly go ahead and pull it off. And I'm really really wanting it to happen because the Super Bowl is in the Falcons' house,
Oh,
and
that's
it
terrible.
would
Oh my
piss
God,
the Falcons fans off nothing more than to
bro.
have the Saints win a Super Bowl in their crib in the new Mercedes Dome.
Because they wouldn't be able to say a word. It couldn't be nothing. A Falcons fan couldn't look at a Saints fan. They couldn't do it.
Could you imagine them popping bottles of champagne all in their fucking locker room?
Bruh. If they come here for the Super Bowl, it's gonna be beignets, grenades,
Crawfish, etouffee.
everywhere. They won't be able to say shit. Nothing. They already hold 28-3 over their head. They wouldn't be able to say nothing. Winning in their home stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing.
Now, if everything breaks right and I go with a homer pick, then my 49ers will be in the Super Bowl and winning it, with another storyline being Kyle Shanahan coming back to win in his old team stadium, driving another knife in the Falcons' back.
I guarantee you, if it's for y'all, he gonna call that run play.
Oh, he damn sure better call that motherfucking run play.
All right, good people.
But no, I think we probably a year away. I think we can sneak into wild card if shit break right. But if I was giving you, no, we didn't. I mean, we can hit on it real quick. Of course, everybody know Jared McKinnon, 49ers free agent money getter this year. Running back was supposed to bring another dynamic to the offense towards ACL on the last day of fucking practice.
I heard it was the last day, last drill of practice.
Yep. Tore it up. So it's crazy. And he said he was most devastated about it because he's going to miss this game, the first game against the Vikings. He really wanted to play against his old team. And I was really looking forward to seeing that too, because you already know the storylines was really going to be about Garoppolo versus Kirk Cousins. Right. Kirk was, for a whole year, we thought Kirk was going to be our quarterback if you listen to all the stories and whatever. And then we pulled the Jimmy trade off. So that was pretty much going to be the storyline. But, it is what it is. We talked about it on some of these shows I said it did just the other week that my concern was that our top three running backs were smaller guys. Yeah. So I love the Alfred Morris pickup even before McKinnon got hurt. And thank God, it looks even better now.
Right.
Now, Matt Breida is scheduled to be the starter now. He was a number 2. So he's going to be the starter now. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. So we're going to see if he can bring some of those things to the table. But we're going to miss what McKinnon could have brought, especially in the pass game.
Absolutely.
So, it is what it is. But we're gonna move. We're gonna keep it pushing.
At least he got his bag, man. See, now that case in point right there. What if that was Le'Veon Bell? He showed up to camp. Last play, he got hurt. No bag, right. No money secured. Just this 14 they gave him this year. Then what?
Yep.
All right, let's finish these last few little things off. Shout out to Nike. Monday was Labor Day, people. Around, I want to say it was around midday, 4 o'clock or so. Word dropped that Colin Kaepernick was going to be the face of the Nike 30th anniversary Just Do It campaign. And they had been paying him. He's been under contract since 2011, from what I read, and they kept him. And they paid him, and they put this out there. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, people, because they stood by Kobe when he's facing rape on trial.
Yeah.
Tiger didn't have nothing to this magnitude, but shit was pretty bad in the streets. He was negative. They stood with him.
I think Nike was probably, at least as far as his huge endorsers, they was probably the only one that kind of stuck with Tiger, right? Because everybody else, they jumped the fuck off the shit.
And all he did was cheat on his wife. That's it. And they left. He cheated a lot. It wasn't one time, but that's it.
Yeah.
They left. So for them to stand up with Cap on this, hey man, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope because they know they were gonna have to deal with the wrath of 45. They knew that, and they still did it. Now he's the face of the campaign, but there's other athletes involved.
Mm-hmm.
But this is pretty awesome. I was happy to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I like it from Nike's standpoint. I think they hitting a lot of different things here. They are standing with him on his side of things. They also understand that it's probably going to end up being profitable for them.
Absolutely.
No matter how many of you clowns go out there and burn your already purchased Nike gear, it's going to be a win-win for everybody in the situation. Now, if I'm a Nike executive, I definitely weigh. I'm pretty sure they weighed the fallout from this.
Absolutely.
But if you look at it, I mean, from a apparel jersey standpoint, I mean, black athletes pretty much dominate your major sports outside of baseball, football, basketball. You got the biggest sports person, LeBron James, at the forefront of a lot of these social issues. All right.
Right.
You can't alienate the black dollar if you're Nike.
You can't.
Okay. You can't. So, some people say they just doing it because they know we're going to continue to buy. We're going to go cool and keep buying. We'll probably do. We'll do it anyway.
Yeah, we're going to buy. I mean, I wasn't going. I'm not running out to buy more Nike. I mean, it is what it is in that regard. But if it, the classic line, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. They may not release a Cap signature shoe, but I believe they're gonna sell a hell of a lot of shirts with his image and quotes on it. I guarantee.
Oh, no, that's the plan. Now, according, and I should have had that tweet up, but according to some information on the particulars of his, I guess his new deal, they're calling it I forget the name they use for it, but it's a deal. He's going to get an apparel line. I think there's a shoe line included.
That's a win.
So it's going to be some branding and a lot of things around him for this.
And if we know Cap like what he has been in public, I guarantee he got something in this deal, this new deal, to help kids or just
Mm-hmm.
it. So shout out to him, but it's definitely going to make Nike some money. They ain't doing this shit for free. So. At all. And the first his commercial was released today, but it will be ran nationally tomorrow night in the NFL opener, which Nike provides the jerseys for. What you got?
I found the tweet. Charles Robinson from NFL report, senior NFL reporter from Yahoo, put it out there. His deal is a wide endorsement deal. He's going to have his own branded line of shoes, shirts, and jerseys. They call it a star deal. That's what it is. Okay. A star deal. It's in line with the top end NFL players deal. So it's worth millions of dollars a year. And star deals also include royalties.
That's a win.
So
shout out to him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be very funny to have the NFL have to run that commercial on night one.
Oh, and that lip service ass statement y'all released yesterday.
Bullshit.
All right, last bit of business to handle. We had the AA Sports Fantasy League last night. I am carrying the flag for the team this year.
Okay. Yeah, your boy retired. So tell me how it went.
All right, dog. You see my team. Shoot me straight. I had to pick 8th. What I'm looking like. I was picking 8th.
Out of 10?
How the hell do I always end up picking 8 or 9 in every damn league I'm in? Always.
I don't know, dog, but it looked like you picked 8 too.
Yes. You think I wanted Shady McCoy in Buffalo with that quarterback situation?
So let's run down his team, people. Kirk Cousins is his quarterback. 2 starting running backs, Devontae Freeman and Shady. 2 starting receivers, Antonio Brown and Amari Cooper. Got Trey Burton as his tight end. Alex Collins, running back from Baltimore in the flex spot. Broncos and Broncos defense, Legatron, Greg Zuerlein as his kicker. And then on the bench, he's got Chris Carson. That's probably, it may end up being a good value pick there. Mark Ingram, that could be a good pick when he comes back. You got Michael Crabtree, Marquise Goodwin, Jamal Williams, running back from Green Bay, Kerryon Johnson. And I see it with I guess this was the very last pick. You threw a fly out there on free agent Dez Bryant. Hey, in the very last round, hey, it's worth it. It's not a bad team.
That before shit hurt.
You probably not winning no championship.
I need a lot to go my way.
Yeah, but you know what? And it's PPR. Okay. I got you.
Go my way.
Kirk Cousins is gonna make your head hurt sometimes. You might want to look at getting another backup quarterback. Marquise Goodwin could end up being a good pick because him and Jimmy Garoppolo got a pretty good connection, and he's our deep threat.
Yeah, he's the number one up there, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, him and Pierre kind of 1A, 1B, depending on what you're looking for.
Oh, we got to do. It's solid. I forgot what the last thing. Let's make this Atlanta pick before we get up out of here. This Atlanta-Philly pick.
All right, so yes, tomorrow, first game of the season, Philly defending champions will host the Falcons. Julio Jones catch that ball last year. Maybe it was the other way around.
Absolutely.
But you want me to pick first, or you gonna go?
I'm gonna go ahead and go. I was wanting to be sexy and take Philly, but they got too much shit going on with the offense. Too many injuries. I'm gonna take Atlanta. Atlanta gonna make a statement. And plus, I got Julio in my money league, so he's going to rise up this year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I got the Falcons as well, only because of, the quarterback situation, what's going on with Philly. They haven't looked good offensively. Yeah, I don't think he's not playing this year. Yeah. So just because of that alone is the only reason I'm picking Philly. If Philly had been full strength, then I would have rolled with them. And hell, the way that if the defense comes to play, they can still wreck enough havoc.
Last year, I mean, yeah. So
they can still wreck enough havoc to win this game. But if it comes down to scoring, which I think it will, I'm gonna give the Falcons an edge there. And plus, they want a little bit of get back from last year because they felt they should have won that game.
I will say this, and this will be the last thing we got on this game. I think if Philly plays dreams and nightmares, they're never going to lose a game.
I think the new that we call a new car smell. I think that's dead. They need to find something else. What Malcolm Jenkins say? Malcolm Jenkins came out last week. Hey man, take all these fucking Super Bowl posters, take all that shit down. It's a whole new season.
Of which, did you see that they made a statue for the Philly special?
What?
Yes, I'm not bullshitting.
I didn't see that.
Doug Peterson and Foles. A statue for the Philly special. Are you kidding me?
Hey man, we making statues for anything. We retiring any and everybody's jersey these days.
That's a joke, man. Oh, man, you know what? If that's y'all statue, I want a statue of Randall Cunningham. I don't give a damn where it's at. I want a Randall Cunningham statue in Philly if you're gonna make one for this.
I mean, I see why they went all out because Philly been starving for a championship, at least in football, for forever. This was their first one. So I can see doing some type of commemorative, thing for them, but a statue, that's maybe going a little far.
Yes, sir. All right, let's wrap it on up.
All right, people. So, what else you got before we get? Oh, college football.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was the first weekend of college football, and a couple of games I was very disappointed in. I expected more. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. They took care of Austin Peay as they should. We got South Carolina this week on the road. That's going to be a little challenge. So we're going to see. We got a lot of new players adapting. The freshman quarterback, we got Justin Fields, the dual play kind of guy. He came in for a little bit and did pretty good. So we're going to see how that goes. But the two main games I want to talk about, LSU and Miami and Florida State and Virginia Tech on Labor Day night.
Throw that Michigan in there too. We need to talk about that.
Oh, old khaki pants.
Those three were the ones. But go ahead.
Well, we can start off with Notre Dame, Michigan, because that's the one with the coach that's supposedly on the hot seat, right?
They got manhandled.
Yeah, they got their ass thoroughly kicked by Notre Dame up in Notre Dame, and it's not gonna get any easier for Harbaugh and them boys because they got that Big Ten to go through. And a lot of you got some people calling that the best division in football right now. So it's not gonna get any easier for them this year. It's gonna be very tough to get back into the national championship picture. For them, they're gonna have to run the table.
And you know who's real pissed off about this shit at Michigan? Braylon Edwards.
Yes. Even went so far as to get himself suspended from his damn job.
I guess that's hard though when you're an alumni and to see this shit happening. But hey, man, don't fuck up your job. Don't do that.
Yeah, I think that and because he's an old player, I think that old player came out as well. He probably went back and realized, hey, I probably should have toned it down a little bit. And he came out and said, hey, I stand by what I said, but I did take it a little too far.
Yeah.
So you gotta do what you gotta do because he gotta get back to work. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so we're gonna see about them. But
the next one up, that LSU Miami. I want to say Miami came in ranked 5th or 8th, somewhere around.
9th, 8th or 9th, depending on which poll you looked at. And then LSU was, I think, 23, 25th, somewhere around. 25th might have been.
25.
Yeah.
So, and
now I was wrong about LSU. This was one of those times where I kind of went with just looking at the rankings, looking at headlines and different stories without doing my own due diligence, and it bit me in the ass.
I was just trolling when I picked them, but hey, man, they manhandled them too.
Yeah, because I figured when I heard that LSU was having quarterback issues and they top 2 quarterbacks had left the program, I figured, okay, well they just stuck with somebody. I forget the kid's name, Burrow. They just stuck with him. He came out there and he looked shook at first. Couple series, he looked shook, but he settled down, and he got them boys to playing, and it didn't help that it didn't hurt rather that the running back did pretty good. He broke out that 50-yard touchdown. He made some throws. The quarterback made some throws, and it was all good. Miami looked like shit on offense. That boy Rozier, I don't know if he's just that bad or if LSU's defense is that good.
Who looked worse, him or Francois Monday?
FSU offense looked worse. I didn't think it could get any worse than what Miami looked like the night before, Sunday night. But Francois and that FSU defense they got some work to do. Willie,
that hype train, it was on full blast for FSU. It was on. Put up 3 points in prime time on Labor Day.
Yeah, and their defense was lights out. Now their defense did what Miami's defense couldn't do, which is hold the game and still within reach.
Right.
And it got so bad. I mean, you saw when FSU's running back ran that ball 84 yards, didn't score. He got caught. And then from that point on, 1st and goal from the 6, they went backwards and then fumbled, didn't get any points.
And nobody in the booth saw that and said, nah, challenge. Because he got in.
Oh, now you're talking about the first touchdown that he actually got in on. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm talking about the run later on in like the 4th, early in the 4th, where if they score that touchdown, they could have got back in the game.
Gotcha. Okay.
But after he ran about 85 yards, got caught because the LSU player hustled.
Yeah.
They caught him, and you think, okay, they're going to go ahead and score. But no, they went backwards and then end up fumbling and didn't get any points. And after that, the game was pretty much over.
Hey, a couple years ago, we could sit back and say, well, you know what? They'll be straight. They'll still win the ACC. Oh, damn, that won't happen because you got to deal with Dabo and them.
Yeah, FSU on that side, it's going to be a little tough because you got Clemson. Now, Miami, if you're going to lose, you want to lose early.
Right.
And with them playing in that ACC, I think they're in the Atlantic side of the division, I believe. But it's kind of easy. Outside of the Virginia Tech game, I think maybe they got one other game. In fact, I think they play FSU. They do play FSU. If they both play like they play this weekend, that could be ugly. But Miami's got a shot to get back in there. FSU as well, but both of them got work to do. A lot of work to do.
Yeah, y'all didn't look good in prime time in them 2 games. So
not at all. All right, good people. So we're gonna get on up out of here, so we can go ahead and get y'all this show posted, hopefully by the morning. Uncle Hate, tell these people where to reach you at on social media.
At ReK6000. Holla at me. I talk sports.
All right. You can find your boy at Diego Barish on Twitter. Also, don't forget to check out the AA Sportscast Facebook page, the Twitter page, and the IG page. And don't forget, you can catch all of our shows on the iTunes platform as well as Spreaker. And then if you want to look at our ugly ass faces, pull up that YouTube channel, AA Sportscast, Straight Sports No Chaser. Check out the episodes there. Don't forget, leave comments, leave thumbs up. Tell us how you feel. Tell us what you think. So
we win in Dallas. We win in this game.
All right. So we're going to come up next week again. We're going to hit y'all in the next 48 hours with our picks. So we're going to go ahead and end this show right here. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be easy. Take it easy. Peace.